right, welcome to Musings, Rants, and Guitars on Sunday, October 500th of 2020. It's been a long year.
Still 2020, people.
And we want to welcome our special guest. If you were looking at the show, it's right below me, straight down. Jasin Todd. Welcome aboard, Jasin. Jasin was a guitar player you just saw in that video. That badass motherfucker playing right there. Like, holy shit. So as everybody's familiar with the show, I'm going to start with a quick fuck you, Jasin. That was great playing, man.
Yeah, man.
Awesome.
Right back
So Jasin was in Shinedown, obviously, in Fuel. Jasin, give us a list of the other stuff you've been in. I played with you when you were in Delacoma. So
yeah, I did a thing with the Delacoma guys, which is an Australian band.
Yeah.
I played with some guys in Jacksonville, a former Major League Baseball pitcher, Brett Myers. But I tell you, the most fun that I've had is this band that we have now. It's called Vanilla Women. And it's kind of just a play on, how a lot of the bands are just kind of vanilla now, and it's kind of an offshoot of that, but it's just like dirty Guns N' Roses, Velvet Revolver type stuff. So go check that out on YouTube. There's a couple things, but it's called Vanilla Women. And also a band called Maylene and the Sons of Disasters, which is I guess they kind of started that whole Southern metal type thing in the early 2000s, So those are kind of like between Maylene and Vanilla and Brett Myers. That's kind of what I'm doing right now. So.
Nice.
Yeah. Try to stay busy,
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna ask you. It's COVID times, man. How are you staying busy? I mean, are you guys able to gig at all?
No gigs, man. But we just did another song with the Vanilla Women stuff. I think on Wednesday. So we'll probably, man. It's an amazing process. You guys are a little older like me, so you'll probably understand. Like we do it the old school way. We go in there with nothing, and we come out five hours later. We just. Now with the studio, we're able to just write the riffs and the lyrics on the spot, and it's great to just get in a room and jam again, So, we've all been tested. No one has it so far. So we get in the room and we jam. I mean, that's awesome. That's all we can do. There's no live shows. So it's just the four of us,
Right.
So
right.
That's kind of what we're doing,
Yeah, I hear you.
And plus, it's Jacksonville, Florida, man. Nobody gives a shit about COVID here. So, coming from Nashville, it was, Nashville, it's like everything, we don't go out anywhere. And I still don't go out anywhere because I'm respectful of all that, But I tell you, man, I turned the corner here in Jacksonville when I got off the plane and nobody was wearing masks. It's total horse shit here, man. It's crazy, but they're just on some different shit, man. So I don't know,
Right.
But me and my kids and my girl, we stay inside, and it's just the guys in the band. So
right.
That's just what it is,
Cool.
Yeah,
so
at least you're staying busy.
Yeah. How many kids?
I have 2 kids.
2, boy, girl.
Yeah.
Two
girl
boys?
and boy. Yeah.
Ah,
Orion
good.
and Coden. Yeah, they're 20 and 14. So.
Wow. You have a 20-year-old? No shit.
I do, man. I do.
Wow.
Yeah, I had her when I was 14, but
No, but your wife was.
Yeah, and it was my cousin, to be honest. It's Jacksonville, Florida. So
Yeah.
We understand.
anything goes here.
We've heard that.
Oh man.
It's funny
That is
because it's
great.
true. Yeah.
It's funny because it's true.
Oh man.
We're set. We're already getting arrested tonight. All right, cool.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, you guys asked for the interview, so that's on you.
Yeah, and you brought it.
Right.
So I guess Lenny, Eddie is your man. Why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Well,
Oh no.
well, it's to all of us that picked up the guitar, he he inspired you to to do something, and he was just an innovator, really nice guy, and I'm still digesting the fact that he died so young. Nobody really knew, I guess, except for his family, how sick he really was. And it's just trying to process it. everything. But you know, I guess I want to extend condolences to his brother Al, Wolfgang, his wife Janie, and Valerie, and the whole entire Van Halen crew, past and present. You know, our sincere condolences. I still get a little choked up about it because I still have a tribute, and I'm just not ready for it yet. Yeah. You know, and
right.
You know, it's just not to be able to hear anything new. I mean, I'm sure there's tons of stuff that's been recorded, like little snippets that I'm sure will make the light of day. But just to, you know, I don't know. It's just
it's
you always look forward to what he was doing. He kept like tabs on him. You always were like, how the fuck did he do that? And so I'll miss that, you know. But he left enough for us, I guess. But you know, I mean, Jason, you can probably elaborate a little bit more. You toured with them in 30-something plus shows, and you saw Magic every night.
Yeah, we. I think it was 2004. We got the call, and it was just it's hard, especially as a guitar player, you know, to get that call. And Ed actually picked us to go on the road, you know, and it was insane. Like our buddies in Silvertide from Philly, they went first, you know, so they did the first leg, and then they called us up. And they're like, you know, Ed and Al want you guys to go out, and Sam, and I mean, how do you process that, you know? I mean, you know. And this was at a time when the record label wouldn't let us play guitar solos, if you can believe it or not, because the fucking, you know, like the fucking Strokes or wherever the fuck it was cool at the time, didn't have guitar solos, you know. And it was like, it was such a bizarre time, man. But you know, I remember they called us the acrobats out there, you know, because we jumped around like a bunch of wounded fucking ducks and shit on stage, you know. And and just, I remember the first night in Chicago, I'll never forget it. And, you know, where Michael Jordan always played. And so that was already heavy. And we're out there, and I turn around, and, you know, Ed and Wolf they're right behind me, you know, watching you play, you know. So it's like, you got to be on your A game. Shit. You know, I was like, yeah. It was just too much, man. You know, it was just a beautiful thing. And they're just, I mean, a real genius, you know. Like, he always came, like, all through the day, he had his guitar on him. He never took his guitar off, you know.
Yeah, he always had his guitar. It would be weird to see him without it.
Yeah, I mean, just walking down the corridor, you know, going to lunch with his guitar on, you know, and he's like talking about how much fucking cubic fucking feet of concrete and how much fucking rebar is in this fucking pylon that's holding up the arena. Shit like that, you know?
Right.
Like,
but meanwhile, he's sitting there.
Man, what are you talking about? The whole time he's just like shredding the whole time, yeah. You know, and talking about, you know, what fucking enzymes are in the fucking roast beef and shit like that. I'm like, dude, I mean, he was so far out, man, you know, but it was a beautiful thing, man, to watch him every night, you know, kind of like I was telling you guys earlier. I mean, he gave everybody what they wanted as far as, you know, melodic sense on his solos, but man, to watch him for those 30-something shows, he would take off, and every single night it was different. I mean, every solo was different, you know, besides a little bit of that melodic, you know, passage so you could know that he was on the right track. But, man, it was a special thing to watch. You know? Yeah. It was very special. It
must have been great, man. Must have been great.
Yeah.
We
learned a lot.
I don't know about, you know, I'd have to change my pants. He's standing next to the side of the stage while I'm playing.
I know.
Dude, you have something to do?
And he always had that grin, you know. I never saw him like get mad or like upset or anything, you know. And he was going through some stuff even back then, you know, with him and Sam. You know, they weren't getting along great, but it was. I mean, I'll tell you a story, man. It's crazy. It's because it's true. But he had these lag bolts coming out of his guitar here, and they were like fucking 10 inches, you know. And he did that because he claimed that he wanted. You know, he was tired of stepping on his guitar cable, and he wouldn't wear wireless, man, because it fucked with his tone. I mean, this is a guy that got out there like every fucking day with a headlamp, looking at his speakers with he would set his own mics up on the amp and shit. I mean, this guy was a fucking madman about his tone, like every day. Can you imagine Ed Van Halen with duct tape holding his fucking shoes together with a fucking headlamp on, and just moving his guitar speaker in the fucking Ornormo Dome. You know, you got guys to do that, but no, man, he would do it himself and just get that sweet spot, you know, and shit like that. But anyways, he had these lag bolts out, and then it came on. He was like, yeah, Jay, I do that just to fuck with Sam. He would fucking punch it on the side with the fucking lag bolt, you know, and I was like, oh my God. I mean, shit like that, man, that nobody knows is just, I mean, it's so Eddie, you know.
Oh,
you know?
That's great. That's
he's a madman, man, but it was beautiful, man. It was beautiful.
Wow. That's a good one. I like that.
Yeah.
I would never imagine that he would have done that with the headlamp to make sure that the mic was placed right.
He was so intense about his sound, and every day he was chasing it, you know, even at that age and stuff, you know. It's like every day was a new day, and it's like every room is a different room, you know what I mean? And every sound is different, and you can have the best techs in the business, but he didn't give a shit about any of that. He wanted to make sure his stuff was right. Every day at 1 o'clock, he shows up, bottle of wine, American, you know, spirits, cigarettes, and he fucking gets to work. You know what I mean? And they do that until sound check's over, until they felt like it was great. You know, it's not a lot of bands just phone it in, as they say, you know, and don't even show up to sound check. You know, Ed Van Halen's still out there, you know, 2004, making sure the shit's right. You know? Wow. Yeah, it was inspiring like that, man. You know?
Yeah, that's cool to hear stuff like that. That how involved with his sound that he was.
Oh
with,
man, so intense. Yeah. Like not using a wireless and using all these different gauge wires that him and the guy would build backstage. I mean, he never stopped, you know. It was intense, you know. Wow. I don't think he could stop, you know. He just like that's what it was. You know, you're out there, you might as well, you know, work shit. You know, because I mean, honestly, you see a lot of these older guys that we've played with, and they let their guys take care of it. You know, if that makes sense, you know, in an arena gig like that, you know, it's like they show up late or they don't show up at all. A lot of guys don't even sound check, you know, but Van Halen's not like that, you know. All 4 guys would be up there on stage doing their thing, you know. Wow. It's pretty amazing. You learned a lot from that, you know.
Wow, that's inspiring too, man.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That's the gig. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, one of our running themes of the show that I always like to think is just the people who are musical who keep with the intensity through their entire career.
Absolutely.
Like Edward did. Edward, you know, if he wasn't doing that, he was working on a pickup at home, or he was working on a pedal or a cable or something. The stories of him, you know, turning on an amp and locking it in a room and letting it just feed back for, you know, 300 hours to make sure the amp would run. So he just go there.
Totally. Yeah. You know, using the cello bow across the piano wires and stuff. I mean, whatever you could do, you know. I read this great story where he was like putting duct tape on the piano keys and just ripping it off and just, you know, whatever, you know, to get these sounds that he had in his head, you know.
You know, like Hendrix did. I mean, just searching for a sound, and you know, you know, people can say what they want. He was the next step from Hendrix.
Absolutely.
I mean, there were great guitar players between the two.
There are.
And you know, but he was the innovator. You know, there were steps that were taken. I mean, look, between Hendrix and Eddie, I mean, there was Gary Moore. I mean, there were the Thin Lizzy guys. There was, you know, Boston. You know, I mean, there was all this stuff.
Sure.
But it wasn't. It was not. It was great, but it wasn't. Holy shit! You hear all say. When you heard that.
Yeah.
Nothing.
You know exactly what it is.
It was, you know, the A flat chord. There was nothing. That just, you were like, what just?
And like we were saying earlier, that's just one guitar, you know.
Yeah. One guitar. Yeah. And he was all that you know. Listen to that. Listen to the second record. Listen to that. If he overdubbed anything, it was me on 3 tracks of just.
Yeah, he's playing to himself over here a little bit.
Yeah.
Right. And maybe it was 3 songs through the first 3 albums where he played, you know, rhythm on just behind the solo, and then stopped. It was just like, you know.
Yeah.
And that was it. He was insane, but his joy of the instrument in chasing that tone is just unbelievable.
He never lost it either, man. Yeah. You know, they said he just that's what he did, you know. I mean, that's the thing. You find what you do in life, and that's it. You know, I mean, he never stopped. I mean, that's that was very inspiring to see him still doing that, you know, because he could have phoned it in, you know, but he couldn't let someone else do it, you know.
Yeah.
He had to be there to do it himself, you know.
Yeah. And I think like anybody that was, I mean, I remember exactly where I was the first time I heard it, you know, like I was a bass player at the time. My guitar player says, "Hey, you got to check this out. You're not going to believe this." And he puts it on and he plays Eruption, of course. And you're like,
yeah.
What the fuck was that?
I know.
What the fuck was that?
What it sounded like.
That is not, that is, nobody else plays anything like that. Yeah. What the fuck, you know? That's when I was like, oh, you can do that on guitar. I'm not playing bass anymore.
Yeah, it had
not
to
that I
so
could ever play that either, but
yeah, it had to have been so weird to hear stuff like that for the first time, you know.
Yeah.
And when's the last time you've had a moment like that? And people are like, "Oh, well, it's your age and stuff like that." There's other people doing. I'm like, well, is there really though? Because I can't think of someone that had come out with something. And I saw some crazy thing the other day about this patent that he made that like flipped up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he could,
I mean, the guy's like, he's such a genius engineer that he made this patent to where it like came up from his hip, you know, and so he could tap it like this, like a piano. I was like, fuck, man. Like, that's what Ed does, you know? Yeah. While you guys are fucking out there on your computer hitting fucking spacebar, he's out there fucking grinding shit out, you know, the nuts and bolts and, you know, figuring it all out. You know?
He has his head in front of a 100-watt plexi.
Yeah.
Finding the sweet spot with the speaker in his ear.
What a fucking headlamp.
Yeah. Right. And then,
dude, check this out. He fucking would cut holes in the screens, you know? And it was the fucking speakers.
No.
It's like the craziest shit ever, man. I'm like, because clearly he had to get further in than the fucking grill was allowing. Shit like that, man. And I would just sit there, me and the singer, man, we would just sit there and look at him like, this motherfucker, dude. Shit. You know? God. In an arena, too, where everything's so fucking loud and washy anyway.
Right.
Not to him. Not to him.
Not to him.
Right.
He can hear that shit,
yeah.
man. He can hear that shit.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I don't think any time since I heard that, nothing. I mean, there was some, you know, some players that really blew me away. Like I remember the first time I heard Yngwie, the first time I heard him, I was like, he's playing that fast and he's not tapping. You know, like
Rising
that
Force,
clean.
all that stuff.
Oh,
yeah.
Love it. Cliffs of Dover. The first time you hear Cliffs of Dover, you're like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah. You know, they're
like I was
all
telling
guys.
You guys earlier, man. It's different. Like his tech would come out there and play like all these songs, and he would, you know, play the solos before Ed and the guys got out there. You know, the band or the crew guys would play everything, and it sounded perfect. But man, there's just something about the touch and the feel, and that's what it goes back to. It's not the notes. You know, we all have 12 notes to work with. You know, but it's like you were saying. It's that touch and that feel that very few people have. You know, and Ed had that. Like he had the feel. You know, and it was just crazy. Like, I mean, like I said, I watched him all those 30+ nights, but one night I saw him and he hit it so perfect. Oh my God, man. I mean, I can see it now. I just, like, we're some bumfuck, you know, Nebraska or some shit. And he fucking played shit where it was like, what is this, man? You know, and you wouldn't have got that unless you saw him every night. And I can't explain it. To see something like that, man, like, it's the touch and the feel, man. I don't know. It's unexplainable, man. Very few guys have that, man. That's the only guy I've ever seen that truly had it, you know.
Yeah, and you know,
there's not many of them.
Yeah,
that is not, man. Like Derek Trucks, he has it, you know,
he can actually plug into anybody else's rig and sound like himself.
And it sounds just like that. I mean, fuck yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's wild.
And with Eddie too. I mean, you know, it wasn't just the tapping stuff. I mean, he could play a 3-note solo, and you're like, oh, that's Eddie. You can't miss it.
Right away, man.
You knew exactly because he played with attitude. He played with
like my man just said with that A flat chord, man. Just that slide into it. You know it's Ed.
It was the whole thing. You know, even we talked about before the show started, and me going back this week and listening to everything on headphones because I'm instead of just having it on the background, right? Because usually I'll throw on Spotify or Google or something like that and just play me some, hard rock songs, right? And then it'll come on and I'm going, this is cool. But I sat down and I really listened to it. And the rhythm playing is just phenomenal, and just his even the use of the phase 90 on stuff, just it was just perfect.
The placement of it,
the placement of it was perfect. His rhythm choices of his notes, and just the way he would hit the string, and
the flanger too, it would just come in just a little bit, just the fucking wide, everything would get wide and then go away, it's like, that's enough.
Yeah.
And he took that much care to know that I needed to just step on this for these couple of notes, just to give it that, and then bring it back over to this. That's man,
he was
amazing from beginning to
different level. For sure.
Changed the whole face of rhythm guitar too, don't you think? I mean,
like.
From everything that I've read and people that I've talked to from that LA scene back then, when he came around, it was like everything pretty much changed right after that.
Yeah.
All the guys were copping that style, and some you could even say did it better or whatever. Maybe they added an extra finger. Now these fuckers are tapping with fucking 12 hands, whatever the fuck it is, but it's like you got it from somebody,
and
then you lose the feel. That's the whole thing, man. It's the feel,
And then you take the whole thing that, if there were no Van Halen the way they were, the hair metal thing wouldn't have happened in LA.
Absolutely.
Right? Because, it was flamboyant lead singer. It was great heavy guitar player. It was the bass player, and the vocals, right? So, good hair metal is just really good pop songs, and I think that, Van Halen's pop sense is overlooked at times too, because people are like, oh, it's a heavy metal band. Dude, So This Is Love. These are just pop songs too. Brilliant
and
stuff.
it was cool. I was talking to one of my older friends, and he was like, man, they were like one of the only bands that like you could be fans of Iron Maiden and all this other stuff, and it was like 98% dudes in the crowd, but it was cool to like Van Halen, and they brought the girls too, so it was like true pop sense, and nobody gave you shit back in the early 80s, late 70s for digging Van Halen, man, even though they brought the chicks, it was like everyone just loved them. And I think it's like you said, pop band, they wrote great songs, on top of like all being incredible players. Listening to Hot for Teacher today, that drum pattern is insane, and it's so fucking weird, like these double bass guys with whatever, but I'm like, man, that is just like got some vibe on it,
Like, it's got a whole vibe. It's got a whole vibe.
Absolutely.
And not to compare them to the hair metal bands, because they were, far superior, but
way above and beyond.
Above and beyond, but again, it was if it weren't for that,
you wouldn't have that.
You wouldn't have that, and LA wouldn't have become what it became when they left.
Absolutely.
So
I totally agree.
Beautiful stuff. It was great, and he's so going to be missed. Again, you talked about his patent for the flip up thing.
Yeah.
But, all the other stuff he did, all the guitars. I have my cousin's son, or my cousin, I guess, is a huge Van Halen fan, and he's got a Wolfgang and everything. I can't even play it. To me it's a different beast. I don't know if you ever played one, but I haven't. It was because I play Les Pauls mostly, and it's
as you should.
As you should. Let's make that clear, kids out there. Don't fuck around with that other shit. Get a Les Paul.
Absolutely.
No tellies or anything. Get a Les Paul.
Yeah, I wouldn't have a telly.
And it was.
I would have the telly over the Strat, but that's just a personal choice.
But yeah,
it's got to be a single cut. That's all.
Yeah, just single. It's a Les Paul with single coils.
Yeah.
But I couldn't play it, and he was playing it beautifully. I'm like, he just loved that stuff,
Yeah.
When he was younger, I set him down here, it cranked an amp and gave him a phase 90 to sit and play with for a while, and he was having the best time, so.
God. But I still have one. I love, that's what a pedal, and
oh yeah, I have.
It all stems from that,
Yeah, I think the only reason I have one on every board is just every once in a while you just want to just kind of just turn it on and just go there. Do that and just have that thing happening. So amps, pedals, more amps.
Yeah.
You
never stop.
The brown sound.
And
the brown sound is Eddie.
Having the kill switch. Yeah, and the kill switch on the guitar and stuff, that a lot of guys use, like, Buckethead and a lot of guys, and that's all. And like a lot of people don't know that he created that sustainer pickup. That was Ed. Yeah, and he didn't get fucking credit for it because he was just like, fuck it, man, I don't care. He knows that he did it, and they took the Fernandez or whatever took it, It's like, that was an Ed invention too, I mean, he's always searching for stuff.
And he didn't get credit for really inventing the Floyd Rose, the locking tremolo unit.
Exactly.
And for having a Stratocaster with a one humbucker pickup unit and one volume knob.
Yeah. I know. That whole hip shot thing, with the drop through fucking thing. Yeah.
I mean,
there's so much.
That was all his, and they just the detuner. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
he was responsible for a lot, and some of the things he didn't get credit for, but at the end of the day, we all know.
Exactly.
Everybody wanted to get a super Strat because of him. And, at the time they came out, punk and new wave were in, and he just gave the guitar a shot in the arm. I mean, if you think about it, they really broke out in the late 70s.
So like
same time. Yeah.
They were like a 70s classic hard rock band. The four guys in the band, but they just were able, because they were such great musicians, had craft songs and add different textures and elements that it wasn't just hard rock. But it was a lot more. It was melodic. It was, they just threw everything in there, and, you just never knew what you were going to get.
Yeah.
Some of it you kind of went like, what? What were they thinking? And then that shit just grows on you.
Yeah. I mean, that's those things. They very rarely come along, So just lucky to have it, And,
yeah, we were.
What a tremendous loss. I know. Like, I was kind of like you guys for like 3 days after it. Was still just kind of sitting on the couch, telling my girlfriend, I'm like, God, man, this is fucking. It hit me different than a lot. A lot of people have been passing. I guess it's just my age that I'm getting to. I guess I'm gonna lose a lot more people. But man, that one, it really hit me, man. Like it's not like
kick in the gut.
I don't like call them up. It's not like that. But man,
right. It's just
it hit different,
Yeah.
Absolutely. So we do have a couple of shout outs. One over on Facebook, we have a guy it's our top fan, Gene. He wanted to check in and say hi.
Okay.
Also,
I want to give a couple of shout outs. I want to Casey Brooks.
Okay. Over.
Howie Powell, Delacoma, Tommy, and Jason. Your partners in crime from Delacoma.
Oh, God, all right.
I want to give them all a shout out and say thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. It's good to see all you guys, man, for sure.
Yeah,
this is awesome.
On YouTube we have Young Others says, "Hey Jason, we're hanging out with KC in the garage."
Awesome.
Okay.
And he says Twisty says hi too. And he also said, Lenny, that's who you were shouting out to. So wanted to make sure that I wasn't missing anybody. So
Yeah. I remember when we did the Delacoma tour, I think the second one in the States, we would stay with KC and the guys at Twisty. We had quite the nights there in the garage, I'll tell you that. And with the neighbor.
Nice.
The neighbor.
Wow. So, why don't you give us a rundown? You've been in a lot of stuff. Give us a rundown of how you got started. I mean, you didn't just start writing Shinedown, start writing fucking great hits,
Yeah, well, I mean, honestly, it was my second band.
Oh God, listen to this guy.
God damn it.
Yeah, seriously, man. Like I'm like one of them loyal dudes, or at least I was. And then after Shinedown, I kind of became a merc. But I was just in like the classic things that you do, where it's just just a bunch of friends in 8th grade, and we would play the rec department and stuff like that. You'd play, the Kiss, the Metallica. I remember we played Gypsy Road by Cinderella, and that was a cool one for us. I don't know how old you are in 8th grade, but I remember we fucking kicked ass, man. And it was like, I don't know if you guys can remember, but this is what I try to tell my son. He's starting to learn guitar, but man, that first time you get in a room with your friends and you play that song, man, whatever it is, you guys remember how powerful that is? You know, like at a young age.
Magic.
And you look around at each other and you're like, what the fuck, man? That's awesome. Clearly it was terrible, you know? But it was me and Brent every day until around 2010. And after that, just kind of took some time off and did the thing with Fuel for like 6 months. That was only for 6 months, you know, which was, it was good for me because I got to play with Brad, the bass player.
Arenas and stuff to Fuel?
No, I actually ended up about a month or so into it. I ended up just bringing my big ass rig out there, you know, because it's not that big, man. It's just it's a Marshall 800 and a diesel VH4. It's pretty much what it is, you know. And it's just I have the Bradshaw switching system just to kind of flip between some pedals, you know, because they use like a lot of, you know, phasers all the way up or whatever the fuck it is, you know. I don't know, you know. You just figure out the songs as you go and just kind of program it. You know, it just makes it a little easier that way, you know. But the sound was pretty big. Probably, maybe a little too big for the Fuel band. I don't know, you know. That was, you know, but it was fun for me because honestly, man, to be completely honest with you, I'd never heard any of the Fuel songs. I didn't know anything about that shit. You know, I knew maybe Hemorrhage and the Shimmer song, you know, which were like the big bar songs, you know. But I didn't know any of those cuts, man. I didn't listen to that music, you know, that style of music, you know. So it ended up being it was a lot of fun, you know. And like I said, I got to play with Brad again, so we instantly had chemistry. You know, the drummer would sit back there and he would like, wow, man, I could tell you guys played for 10 years together, you know.
Yeah, that's something. That's
so it was easy for me to pick up on it, you know. And Brett's a sweetheart, the singer, you know. So it was a lot of fun.
Awesome.
So I mean, is that so? Your main gear is the diesel and the 800 at this point, still?
That's it. Yeah, still. You know, pretty much everything I do. I mean, I don't really know. I mean, that's the thing. Like I was saying earlier, you just roll your volume down, and you get a beautiful clean tone.
Yep.
You know, and then it's just I don't use a lot of gain. You know, I'd rather have volume than gain. So and a lot of mid range. So everything is just kind of cocked. You know, at like 2 o'clock, and I just let it roll. You know.
Yeah, we're 800 guys too, so.
Yeah, I see that in the background. There's a ton of Marshalls.
Yeah,
you know? Yeah. What could be better, you know?
The 800 is in the middle there.
Yeah. Yeah, when we do fly shows, I mean, that's what I try to get, man. If you can get an 800, a lot of people hate fly shows, man, but I love it because you never know the gear you're going to get, and a lot of the times you'll pick up, man, and these guys will want to give you their good shit, you know?
Right, the good 800.
They like your band, so they're like, hey, man, I've had this in the basement for fucking, 15, 20 years. I don't let anybody play it. But you're going to let me play it?
Yeah.
You know?
Wrong idea. Don't let me do that.
Yeah. Because I'm just going to fucking pen the shit.
Yeah.
Well, that's exactly, I was just going to say that because when you came and played the rail, you know, he had the gear for you. You just walked in, and I'm like, all right, he's looking very intently. And you just were like, all right, fuck it. And you just
timed it.
And it was like
right across there.
You're playing a small club on Long Island, but yet your intensity was that you were playing an arena. You did some shit on the guitar, and that we had you there twice. And I'm like, this fucking guy. I mean, man, anti-Guitar Hero bullshit. This guy's fucking swinging. And you did some shit.
Like I said, man, you know, you learn that stuff from the guys that you're around, and I've just always kind of been like that. I think that's why, you know, me and Ed, we all got along and stuff, you know, and I don't know why he picked us, to be honestly, but, you know, guys like that, you learn, you know, you're all in or you're out, right? I mean, there can't be any other way, you know, and it's like, I don't see the difference in playing in front of 10 people.
Very intense guitar player.
Yeah, and playing in front of 100,000, it's the same thing, man. You give the same thing because you're up there, you know? You know, what's the difference, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
I play with my eyes closed anyways and hit all the wrong notes either way. It doesn't matter, you know.
Hey, I believe in that.
Yeah, I think that's the only way to actually play, man. And just
absolutely, man.
That's why we play 800s, man.
The notes are overrated. The right notes
You're gonna
are
hear
anyway.
It whether you want to or not. It's in there, you know.
Yeah. Sooner or later, I'm gonna get there.
Yeah.
But just a complete fearless guitar player, you know, who has total command of his instrument. I mean, you were doing things on the guitar, and people we're looking at each other like, did he just do that? And you just make it look so freaking easy.
That's awesome.
You know, kind of a guy that knows his craft.
Well, I don't know about that, but we're trying. It's in there somewhere.
And if you didn't, you pulled it off perfectly, man. I mean, I was impressed. It was like, damn, you had the swagger when you're on stage. It's like you kind of like tune everybody else out, and I couldn't miss you having fun, man.
Yeah,
could not miss that.
Well, hell, going through all the traveling, you gotta, you're only there for the hour and a half, 2 hours on stage. You better make it count,
Absolutely,
right.
Absolutely.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
So now aside from those two of your many projects, you got a band that you have some friends, Vanilla Woman, right?
Yeah, that's my main thing that we got going on right now. It's man, it's so good. You can find it on YouTube. We're actually going to take it all down and rebrand it because we're going to shoot some videos because, being back in Jacksonville now with everybody, it'll be a lot easier, but yeah, I think there's about 5 songs on YouTube right now. It's just Vanilla Women, and we just tracked another one on Wednesday. So, I mean, it's guys from Mofro, guys from Puddle of Mud. I'm in it.
Cool.
And it's just powerful. It's fun. We're able to get a complete record done in 5 hours when we start with nothing. We have great chemistry, and I mean, it's just a lot of fun, and that's what it's supposed to be, There's fucking solos all over the place,
Yeah, not supposed to be.
It's power vocals, we like harmony solos. Nobody's telling us what we can and can't do, and we go in there and we just fucking kick ass,
Oh, that's awesome.
So freaking cool.
Yeah.
So cool.
Don't get that too often anymore.
So do you guys have like a Facebook page or a Twitter page or Instagram account yet? Or?
No, I don't know anything about that stuff. We should though, but I don't think we do, man. I don't think we do. But like I said, we're gonna try to, hopefully, try to rebrand it or whatever and get something going behind it now that I can be a little closer to everybody because everybody's in Jacksonville and I'm in Nashville, so it's trying to do this over the last couple of years has been a little tough, So now with the COVID thing, I guess hopefully we'll be able to get something going. It's just we don't know what we're going to do about playing live shows. Nobody can play live shows, and that's ultimately what we all want to do. And I don't really know how that's going to happen, So we're going to try to find something in the middle, maybe with some videos or something, just to get people to hear it,
Yeah, I mean at this point, you got to make the investment of doing those videos where. Even live ones, but I mean, it's really tough, the intensity. You've shot videos, it's, 30 takes of you trying to keep the same energy, and that's draining. But to kind of do a show without people is just, it's going to be
just weird, I mean, weird. What are you guys doing? I'll flip it around on you. How are you guys getting through this shit? Like, I mean, you guys still jamming with the bands or like, I mean, you can't play live, so what the fuck do you do?
Well, we do this.
Yeah. This is how it started, We had nothing else to do. We figured, look at all these musicians have nothing else to do either. So we'll get a hold of them and,
so they'll talk to us.
Yeah, they'll talk to us. Right. Like, I mean, this has been fun. Like, and the guys we're talking to, I mean, we talked to some good players, yourself included. I mean, everybody wants to talk music, even if you can't play, you at least want to talk it out, and like you have like-minded guys and, you want to get your word out anyway. So
yeah,
this has been really great. And by the way, we were kicked off of Facebook.
Yeah, immediately.
Warner Brothers cut us off.
What happened?
Evidently, they didn't like us playing the first tune.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah.
Well,
we're still on YouTube.
Huh.
So I was wondering, like, all of a sudden the feed stopped. Like, I could see the feed, but nobody else could. So I'm wondering, like, nobody's commenting. All of a sudden, everybody's commenting on YouTube. So,
oh wow.
So there goes Warner Brothers. We've been getting ready. We were into this last week too. Was it last week, guys?
Last week it was Records.
Yeah.
That's actually funny. I guess Atlantic is kind of under the umbrella of Warner Brothers.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. Warner keeps a tight clamp on everything. We'll fix it. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
I know. I'm good friends with Rick Beato. I know you guys know him. He actually helped us on the first album. I think he recorded 4 songs with us on there. I think 4 of them actually made it before that he recorded. And he says he goes through that shit all the time. Like,
he goes through it every single time he does, and he does those beautiful song breakdowns.
I know.
Oh,
I mean,
that guy is a fucking genius. I hate that guy. I love him so much.
Yeah.
I hate him.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he's so talented.
Man, what a talented cat, man. And it was crazy, like back then, because like I said, this was probably 2002 or so when we were tracking with him. And man, just in a little tiny office, you know, and it's wild to see how far he's come. I mean, he's just such a master musician, you know. And
he's a master.
It's kind of tough being in the room with him, but like we didn't know him as that back then, you know, and he would just let us do our thing. And he always, I mean, the cool thing he ever told me was that I had good vibrato. He's like, "Oh, you got great vibrato." I didn't really know what the fuck to think about it, you know, but
now it actually
cool,
counts.
Man, to see his ear, you know, like he can hear everything. And I was surprised that a lot more rock guys didn't use him, you know. I mean, I'm sure they would all love to use them now, but back then, you know, this is, you know, like I said, early 2000s. But man, I mean, I think those songs were great, and he actually let us play guitar solos.
Wow,
it was cool for us, man. You know.
Yeah. Now, but you know, I think you know his thing is with being a producer, he lets you guys be creative, and I think I don't think that comes across a lot on what he does because he's such a personality now, you know, with his musicality. But I don't think he stresses as much as the creativity that really gets involved in this. You know, he could sit there and play everything, but you know, he wants you to come up with something that's really unique in you. So I mean, I think that's really key to him.
I mean,
but
we have a song that we did with him during the writing of this third album, which is When I Left. But we did a couple demos with him, and one of them is it was going to be the first single, and then I wasn't in the band anymore, but it's called I Spy, and it is fucking the heaviest thing. I mean, we were really on to something new, like, it had this, like, rubber bandy guitar, and it was all tuned down a whole step, and, man, it just, a lot of the guys in L.A. couldn't get it, but Rick just got it right away, man, and it was just the coolest thing, and how far he would push the singer to come up with these cool melodies and shit that you just don't hear in rock music, you know, because he had that musicality about him, you know. Yeah. He's quite the guy, you know. I love working with that guy, you know. I mean, and another guy, Tony Battaglia, that helped us do the first album, and he actually produced the second album that we did. I mean, I love guys like that, man. Some of the guys in the band didn't like it because they pushed him, and it was, you know, they're old guys make you work, you know, and I love that shit. Man, because now it's like you go into the room with a producer and it's like they'll just copy and paste. Oh yeah, we got it. They're not even looking at you while you're recording it. And it's like, that's such shit, man. They're not even invested in it, you know? It's like they know they can fix it in the fucking whatever the fucking Melodyne is or whatever, you know? And that's like shit, you know? It's like I want guys to be like, man, that fucking sucks. You know? I know you can
I mean, you know, look at the old school guys who were touring and stuff. Like Buddy Rich wouldn't put up with shit, right?
Yeah,
you hit
it should be like that.
You hit a wrong note, you're like, what the fuck was that? You know, the producers are like, nah, fix it.
Hold on it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Different.
Absolutely.
You know, but these kids weren't doing 4 sets a night. You know.
Yeah.
You know,
I've always enjoyed that, man. I want somebody to tell me to do that. You know, plus like. What you don't understand is later in life you're going to understand these, and these become relationships with these guys. Like I still talk to Tony all the time, man. Like we talk all the time. I learned so much from him. You know, he did all this stuff like all that funk shit and disco stuff. You know, like he did all that stuff, and there's so many different styles of music. I mean, he thought it was so funny because in 2000 everybody was doing the drop D, and he called it the month. You know, the month finger, because it's like every song is just this, you know.
I know. That makes me nuts.
He couldn't handle it. He's like, this shit sucks, man. There's no color in it, you know.
No, you know, and some people who I think are musical, you know, they'll come out and wear a guitar and it's tuned, and you're like, I'm like,
it's like, fucking, this is it. This is what we got, you know. Which, hey. If it's a great song, it's a great song.
If it's a great song, no. If it's a great song, I'll fucking do that all day. But, you know,
Absolutely.
3 songs in, if you're going to do something, do something.
Yeah.
But, you know, I don't know. A great song is a great song, man. You could.
Absolutely. And that's kind of where we were at in Shinedown, you know, especially on that first album. The second album, we went the fucking opposite way and just did put all the notes on there. The first album we weren't able to put any notes on there, so it was just about songs. So I thought it was a happy medium for me because I was used to only putting harmony solos on everything, and just extended Leonard Skinner jams, So it was kind of strange to go in, but Brent was such a great writer, that, so it was kind of that, So you got the best of both worlds, So for me, it was like this whole thing is just a journey, anyways, So you keep trying to keep moving forward, So now I'm kind of full circle with the Vanilla Women stuff. So now we got great songs, I think. And I don't know if anybody else likes them, and we get solo. So I mean, I'm happy.
That's all that matters, right?
That's
absolutely, man. Absolutely. And the people that come out when we do get to play love it, So fuck, I mean, got to be doing something right,
Yeah.
All you can do is what you can do, right?
Yeah, you got to be able to enjoy it. People can see that if you're enjoying what you're doing, people see it and it comes across. And
absolutely.
I did the cover band thing for a long time, and towards the end, and I was doing the pop band thing too. I did different covers and tributes and stuff. And the last thing I was doing in the pop band, and I could see I was just like, oh, you know what? I don't even want to be out here anymore. So then it's like, time to go back and hit the rock stuff again, and get the mojo flowing back in because it wasn't there anymore doing pop stuff.
Yeah, And if you're not feeling it, I mean, it's like you might as well be slinging the hammer. It's just. Yep. I mean, music is something special for us. We got to love doing it.
Yeah, and really just love it.
You can't fake that shit.
No,
you can't, because like you said, I bet everybody knew that you did not want to be up there playing the pop stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Your face was like, I don't want to be here.
Yeah. Well, back.
He's like, I gotta do Jesse's Girl one more fucking time.
Yeah, we can hide it, but it's like, it's like, fuck.
That's right.
I've actually I was in one band like that, man, and I was just like, man, I don't know how I did it, but you get through it. That's what it is.
Absolutely.
That's so true. I did this one project where it was really out of my wheelhouse. It was like this Afro-Cuban thing, and it was great. Yeah. And it degenerated quickly because the guy who was leading it would just like invite all his friends to come and play percussion, and it just got
17 Congo players.
And it just and half of them were stoned out of their mind or drunk and hadn't showered in days, and which is fine if there's 4 or 5 people, but when there's 10 people like this, it's like a homeless shelter. And I was like,
I know exactly what it is.
I can't do this anymore, guys. I love stretching out like this, but okay, I'm back to rock.
Yeah, I feel you.
So.
Awesome. So, I've only seen you play a Les Paul, and now obviously we know you're playing a Firebird there. What are your favorite guitars to play? Is it the Les Paul, basically?
Yeah, it's a Les Paul. Les Paul
a hunk of mahogany, no matter what it is.
Yeah, right? Hunk of mahogany.
Yeah.
Yeah, Les Paul standard. I don't know. There's something about it just sits. I had a custom, but it was stolen. But for the most part, I mean, it's all Gibson stuff. I like to think of that as HBO, and then fucking the PRS or like PBS, It's
right.
Like,
yeah.
It's not for me,
No.
Way too pretty for me.
We've tried
them. Sometimes it's a flying V.
Yeah, I pretty much, I love anything with the Gibson name on it. I can make any of them work. I have all of them. I love them all. They just, if I had the go-to, though, it would be the standard. It does something for me, but
yep.
If it's got the Gibson name on it, I love it. I don't know. It just, they're fucking nasty. They don't really stay in tune right. But for me, it's just perfect, man. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I like that because I'm all fucked up. So, for me, I don't mind that G string. I don't know. For somehow it sounds in tune to me. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. You gotta struggle with it a little bit.
Look, man,
your ring finger, man, can you gotta fucking lighten up,
Yeah. You know when it sounds a little funky. You know where you're reaching for.
Absolutely.
It takes 2 seconds. There it is. And it's back. A couple seconds later, there it is. It's back.
Yeah, it just went back the other way. That's right.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like,
didn't I just make that sharper? Why doesn't it want to be flat now? Fuck this thing.
That's it, man. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, I remember you telling me last time you played the rail, we were at the bar and we were talking guitars, and I had asked you why you play the Gibsons. You were like, because everything else is a copy of that, so why not just stay with the original?
Yeah.
And I said, man, that is like such a great thing to say because it is so true. Whether it's a Stratocaster or whether it's
if you see like
everything else came after that is basically that repackaged.
Yeah, I mean, and same with amps. You know, I love all these amp guys, and they're like, well, channel 1 sounds like a Fender, and channel 2 sounds like a Marshall, and, you know, channel 3 is like a souped-up Marshall. I'm like, well, why don't you just fucking plug into a Marshall? You know, what the fuck? You know, I don't need 3 channels of something that sounds like something, you know? It's like, it's what it is, you know? And it's the Les Paul, these guys, it's like those inventors, man. Like we're talking about, kind of like Ed, he was always searching for something, but, you know, they kind of figured it out, at least for me. Because, you know, I grew up and didn't have a lot of money, man. And, you know, I was playing through PV amps and fucking Ibanez guitars. But I'll never forget the day I got that Les Paul and plugged it into a Marshall. And it was just like, holy shit. I mean, that was it. That's like all you need. You can literally plug straight in. I love pedals, though. But you can literally just plug straight into that.
Oh, yeah.
Man, it's like, and it's
absolutely.
Just, wow.
Yeah. I do it here, you know, like I get everything set, you know, because I have the cover band thing where I need the 12 pedals and all the patches and everything. And I do that, but then I just unplug and just plug straight into the 800 and just hit, and I'm just like, wow, God.
Yep.
And the sound guy loves you. You know, the sound guy loves you because, like, man, it's like, because I ran sound for a long time too, you know, before I got going with the Shinedown gig. And that, I think that's important too, man. You know, for younger people listening, like if you get a chance to run live sound, it'll show you, man. These guys come in with these digital amps and shit, man, and it sounds like, it doesn't matter how fucking loud you get it, it just sounds smaller and it sounds like a fucking fluorescent light bulb. Like there's a tone in it, you know? And these guys are like, yeah, it sounds fucking great in my room. I'm like, I'm sure it does. You know?
I'm sure it does.
Put a fucking microphone on it, and it goes completely away. You know, there's just, you don't even hear your sound anymore. You know, so that was helpful, you know.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, the room is a great place, man. I use this Pod XT for in here. I'm freaking useless anywhere else, but I've been here, it's like... Right?
Shit, I mean, I remember, what was it, Weezer? They used that pod everywhere, like back when it came out, when little fucking pod kidney bean thing.
Yeah.
They were playing festivals with that fucking thing, man. They would just jump on the airplane with their fucking kidney bean and fucking just use that thing. I couldn't believe they were getting away with that shit.
Well, that's what Garbage did that too. Garbage toured, all the bass player and the 2 guitar players used pods.
Can you imagine, man?
And just they made it work. I don't know.
They saved so much money. Back then, you had to fucking, the rigs were so expensive. Those assholes are just going right in, just fucking no back line. Fuck it, we got the kidney bean.
and I can't go and play the rail without bringing money. I go to play the rail. I got a 4x12, and I'm bringing 2 heads just in case one fails because I'm a fucking idiot. You know, and I'm bringing one in case Jason wants my 800. I'm gonna bring it too. So fuck it. You know?
Yeah. We'll be caught dead with the fucking kidney bean. I know.
There's no fucking way.
Man, just remember, just playing clubs and bringing, you know, 2, 3 cabinets, 3 heads.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. I don't know. It looks good. Yeah. Sounds great.
I remember the smallest pickup truck I had at one point was an El Camino because I couldn't have anything any smaller because I gotta at least get 2 4x12s in it, you know?
Gotta have something.
Yeah, gotta fit a 412 in there, gotta fit 2 412s in there, and maybe a road case for the head.
Yeah, and then, you know, you gotta have at least 3 guitar cases.
And then the show ends and you gotta load that shit.
Yeah.
Oh.
And you're hammered out of your mind.
Hammered.
That's when it hits like, I should have had the fucking kidney bean.
Yeah. Fucking thing is heavy.
The guy with the EK 250 mL's leaving with, you know, his lunchbox going.
Yeah.
I know. I'm using the kidney bean from now on, but then, you know, you sober up and you're like, man, I got to bring those 2 fucking 412s. Here we go.
And I need you to mic that speaker, and I need you to mic this speaker because those are the good ones.
Yeah. Brutal, man. I mean, why are we like that? You know, it's like
I don't know, man.
You know, it's fucking shit. Why do we have to be? It's that Ed Van Halen shit, you know.
Yeah.
We're
I know.
fucking headlamp on, you know, playing in front of our girlfriends, you know, worried about fucking having the arena stacks. Like,
Yeah.
damn.
Yeah.
It could be like that, man.
Me and Tommy went to the studio. What was that, like 6 months ago, Tom? Right? It was before this started, right? We go in the studio. We spent a half hour just getting the tones, and it was just me and him in the studio. We didn't even have a drummer or anything. It was just we had to impress each other and how good the sound was. You know?
We just brought up and played real like. Wow, this one sounds really great on 7. You know, fucking Marshall. Like, oh yeah, and then he's like, oh, that's all. Oh, that's it. That it's deafening, but that's the tone.
Yeah. That's it, man.
Yeah.
That's it.
Like checking speakers, going, oh, that's a good speaker. Ooh, that's nice.
That's it, man.
Like,
I think that goes back, man. That goes back to the whole Ed Van Halen thing.
Absolutely.
And he's in all of us like that. You know,
Yep.
we're all into that stuff. You know?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's bizarre.
It's bizarre. I mean, you know, I don't know. I came into a little more money.
If nothing else, it's reassuring.
Get another OCD, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got so many problems with OCD pedals. Ask him how many he's got. He's got to have at least 8 there right now.
I have 5.
5 OCD
But they're
pedals.
all different. I have them labeled. This is a 1.7.
Okay. Okay. You're a fan of the overdrive. I remember they had the white
2.1.
There you go. Oh yeah, there's it right there. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's got the red one just because it came in red.
It's a 2.0.
And you know, just like, do you just have to have them like set to a certain thing? You can't just reach down.
Yeah, they're all set. No, well, each one sounds a little different.
Okay. Does it really, or Edward Van Halen on this?
Yeah.
Nah, they do sound a little bit different. I have a couple more on other boards. They work different with different amps. So like with the
they do.
The 800 likes everything. I'm not really sure why. The 800 loves every overdrive you put on it. Oh yeah, I like that one. And then you put another like that one too.
I know.
But the Jubilee is a little pickier. You know, I have a Jubilee and it's got it. Like, no, I don't like that one too much. But it loves the tube screamer. It loves a real tube screamer.
I know. I have that. I have a blues driver that was modded by those, I think, Analog Man or something.
Yeah.
And then I have the tube screamer that was also modded by him. And between the Friedman amp that I use in the Brett Myers band, the Friedman and the Marshall, it's like the pedals, they react different. I mean, it's like night and fucking day. You can't use one on the other. I mean, it's like
I know.
You know?
Yeah,
that's the thing. Like I actually on the big board I have the OCD and I have the tube screamer, because depending upon which amp I'm using, I gotta change the drive.
You do, man.
Yeah.
And like we're the only people that hear that shit, but it's real, man. And everybody is going to affect the fucking night, you know.
Yeah, like what the fucking have the wrong. I'm the rose in the wrong. Goddamn, why am I have the tube screamer on this one?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, and I will sit there and scream about how shitty it sounds, and then everybody else is looking at me like, it sounds the same.
Yeah.
Like, no, it's not even close. No one close, man.
You're so right.
Dude, next gig we're all using kidneys, and people are gonna go, that is the best fucking sound you ever had.
That's it.
And then
you're not even gonna know, you know.
Yeah, I do remember. I was playing a place up in Boston called Hennessy's up on the second floor. It was a pain in the ass to get to, and you see that I have the Bogner combo back there, right? It's that little combo. It's a 112. It's 84 pounds. It's heavy as fuck. You know, it's like carrying a super. You know, but it sounds fantastic. So I used to carry that up all the time when I was doing that, and then finally one gig, and this was in the pop band, so it has different pedals and everything. It's a whole big rig. So one time I bring an 11 rack there, you know, it's just the 11 rack, and I said, here, just give it to me back in the monitors, you know. So it's with one little pedal, and at the end of the gig, guys like, oh, that was the best tone you've ever had. I'm like, oh, fuck you.
Oh,
you know?
Damn, you knew he was gonna say that too.
I know.
You knew that was coming.
I know. I mean, I gotta say, I spent the money on getting a guy to write patches for the 11 rack that was really good. So it was really good. It was really good patches, but still, man, come on. You know. That's a $3,000 amp and $199 11 rack. Come on, man. You know.
Exactly, man. It depends on the venue too, you know, and the size of the club, and you know what the PA is like and stuff. You know, it's a lot of variables in there, you know.
Absolutely.
But it's funny, man. You know, it drives us nuts. You know, like, you know, our hero Eddie just chasing the tone. You know, just.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
It's funny talking about this now out loud with, you know, other guitar players, and you can see we all have a bit of that in us, you know, and it's funky, man. Like, cause like he wouldn't care, you know, where he was playing, and that's just like us, you know, whether you're playing the pop gig or you're, you know, playing in the arena, you're still worried about that tone, you know, and you're gonna hear it, and it's gonna affect you, you know. Like,
yeah,
you know?
Absolutely. And you know, we all spend time with that. With albums 1, 2, you know, and Fair Warning, and trying to match that tone, you know, like how do you get the Brown sound? Like, what's the secret? There's, you know, we'll get the Variac and this and that and the other thing, and it's not. It was in his fucking hands.
Dude, I have them in the room right now.
Yeah, it's in his fucking hands. There's the whole difference, you know. Yeah. That sound came from his hands. I bring that
shit with me everywhere, man. I had it on the Delacoma gig, man. You know, I make sure it's like right around 118. You know, I know it should be 120, but you know, and I'll bring it down a little bit sometimes when I'm scared on the road. I'm gonna fry all my fucking tubes and not have a way to change it. You know.
Right. Yeah. You know.
But you know, if you show up to the gig and you got the fucking Variac, you know, on that big fucking black dial on that red machine, you know, cranking power down. You know, when the guys see you, they're like, "Oh, this fucker, he's a psychopath," you know.
oh, it's one of them.
Yeah, it's one of them. You know, oh, this guy cares.
Yeah.
Like, bro, you have no fucking idea.
You know what's really good is if you go to one of Tommy's gig and you roadie for him, and then you try to turn a knob on him. Tommy hit one of the roadies one day.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I went in front of my amp. I don't know what he was going to do with a flashlight. I'm like, you whack.
That was the last time he subbed for me.
Oh, man, that's too good.
Too good. Oh, no, that guy can't fill in for you.
Yeah, the band is like, nope, he can't play for you anymore. Like, wait, he played with you guys for 30 years. Why can't he sub for me?
He's a lot angrier now.
That's it, man. That's it.
Oh, so yeah. I did apologize afterwards. I found the guy and I said, "Look, man, I'm sorry."
Yeah, I wonder why we placed last in the Battle of the Bands that day.
That's why.
Oh well, you know.
Yeah, well.
It's all about the tone.
Yep.
He didn't understand.
That's it, man. That's it.
So, all right. We'll start hitting a couple of our segments. We're just kind of go in and out of these a little bit because we're having a great time. This is a great chat.
Yeah,
and the people on YouTube and on Facebook are loving this. They're really blown up. The stories, they're loving them. Honestly,
good, man.
It's great.
It's looking really good.
Thank you all for tuning in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody. Yeah, subscribe if you haven't. Subscribe.
Yeah, right. Hit the subscribe button and then the bell. You know. And we're not going to make Jason do it because he says he's not technically savvy with
I have no idea how to do anything.
He's like, how do you Zoom? What's a Zoom?
I don't know anything about Zoom, man. My girlfriend had the Zoom thing, so we figured it out.
This is a nice way to do an interview, though, right? You don't have to leave your house, you know? Like, as far as we know, he doesn't have pants on. We don't know.
Probably don't.
I know Tommy doesn't.
We took a shot, and no, I do not.
So, all right. How about giving us from one of your tours, maybe a Spinal Tap moment where shit went awry real bad for you? You got one?
God, I mean, there's so many. You know.
Yeah, that we hear a lot.
So somebody licked the Variac.
Oh my God, man! I can't think of. There's just so many. I can't imagine. There was just a lot of times where nothing ever went right. You know, that was the crazy thing with Shinedown. You know, in those early days, you know, it was kind of like we were kind of going off of that. You know, now they use a lot of tracks and everything's programmed and stuff. But I mean, it was just a power trio with a singer. You know, back then,
right.
So you never knew what could happen. I mean, like I remember, I guess. For me, the scariest thing was we got to play Red Rocks, you know, and that was like a dream gig for me.
Wow.
Yeah,
we got to play there, and I was like, oh, I mean, I had spent the whole day just fucking telling the guys because they didn't really understand the importance of fucking Red Rocks. I mean, I had to let them know, you know, like this was like the fucking gig.
It's mystic. It's fucking mystic.
Man, this is it. This is what it's all about, man. Yeah. We're here, man. This is like in America. There's like the pyramids of Egypt, and there's fucking Red Rocks. I mean, that's it, you know.
Yeah.
Fuck it. When we're playing there, man, and I had just built it up too much in my head and we go to play, and we're playing with Godsmack and fucking Rob Zombie, probably 3 bands that don't need to be playing Red Rocks, you know, because it's more of like a fucking, you know, like, I don't know,
an amphitheater.
Like, yeah,
it's
like, you can, if everybody shuts up, you can just play acoustic guitar and hear it without it being mic. It's that kind of thing, you know. And we're up there fucking shit, you know, and then but something happened, man. I don't know what it was, man, but everything that could go wrong went wrong, man. You know, like, I don't know what happened, man. It was literally like the worst show of my life. Like, and then come to find out, I think the Godsmack guys were doing something to my rig, like, because it was one of the last gigs, but it like wasn't funny, man. Like everything went out. Like, my guitar was like, it was like off, and it was playing like FM radios, and it was doing like everything bad that could go bad was bad. So I don't know if that's really a Spinal Tap thing, man, but that's the first thing that comes to mind. It was just, I had built it up so much as being this like spiritual gig. Like, it was so bad that, like, after the gig, I fucking packed my bags and put them on the front of the bus like a fucking child, you know. I was like, I quit, man. It's quit, man. Like, the fucking gods don't love me. It's over, man. It's like, it's all over, man. It's like, you don't understand, man. Like, I've waited my whole fucking life for this. And it was like literally the worst show ever, man. Like, oh my God, dude. And I was such a little bitch. Like, I literally packed my bags and put them in the front of the bus. I was ready to go home that night and give up my whole career, you know.
Right.
Oh, it was bad, man.
That's great.
Do you remember what year that was?
Just were not smiling.
Do you remember what year that was?
No, they were, man, and it was so weird. Like, and to everybody else, it was just another gig, you know. But to me, it was not. And man, I'll never forget that. It was bad. I mean, but there's been millions of things. I mean, the thing about being in a touring unit is every day something's gonna happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's more fucking uncommon for something not to happen than Spinal Tap. You know what I mean? Because you're always getting lost. You're always doing shit like that. Literally everything. That movie it's priceless because all that shit actually happens. You know?
It's
on a daily gig. It's like I said,
100%.
It's more unusual to just have a normal day. You know, where everything works and nobody's fighting or crying or, you know. Oh, man.
Right. The hotel's ready. You go in there.
Yeah. Like, that shit never happens. None of that shit. No, man. Not when you're playing like we would do, you know, back in the day. I mean, we didn't come home for, like, on that first album, we toured for 2.5 years straight, you know, and then we took 2 weeks off and went right into my house and started doing, me and my ex-wife, we got a different house that Atlantic helped us get so we could record the second album in my house. So we took like 2 weeks off after a 2.5 year tour and went right into that. And then we went right back on the road for another 17 months, you know? So it's always work, you know, it's never not working, you know?
Right.
Wow.
Oh, that was a great story though.
It was not good to be in it though. I mean, can you imagine just waiting your whole life and making it that big and then it just, oh man, the Godsmack guys were laughing their techs, man, and it was like nothing would work. Like the rig was just out, and you're just like trying to figure it all out. Oh man, it's like the worst nightmare you could ever have, you know?
Right.
And you're at fucking Red Rocks. Man.
I know you look at you're at Red Rocks. You were probably out there during the day looking at it, going,
"Oh yes, the entire day. I was up. I was there when the bus was driving up. You know?
Yeah, right at the window.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm right there. I'm like, holy shit, guys, you don't understand. I'm waking everybody up on their bunks, you know?
Yeah.
It's like Christmas.
Get up! Shit the bed, man. We shit the bed so hard, you had no idea. It was so bad.
And that is a beautiful venue. I went to a festival out there. I used to live. I lived out there for a few years. And I went to see one show, and again, it was a harder rock. It was Infest. That would have been like 99 or something. Yeah. I know Creed was on the bill, so I don't know. I don't remember who else is on it, but it was all some pretty heavy stuff. But there wasn't anything subtle in there.
Weird venue to have heavy music. Weird venue for heavy music, you know.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
The other two bands sounded great, man. So I don't know, man. It was bad. It was a total Spinal Tap moment. It was bad. Man, not good.
Yeah. All right. How about the one that got away?
Yeah. What have you lost?
You got one of those that got stolen. You sold
do.
for like an 8-ball or
hookers or lawyers.
Yeah, man. All that, and also, well, I have a Les Paul Custom, man, that I got in probably 2005, 2006ish from a shop in California across from the House of Blues. We were playing with Seether and Hellstorm. I'll never forget. In San Diego, and there's this beautiful old guitar shop that was right across the street. And Lizzie can tell you about it too if you guys get her on here. I bought her a white, because she always loves white guitars, so I got her a white Firebird that night. And I also got myself like I think it was like a 1960 or 61 reissue, all fucking nickel hardware. It was just this beautiful Les Paul Custom. But anyways, this a friend of mine in California, they were doing some kind of thing where they were showing off guitars and stuff. And I've sent this thing to him probably like a year and a half ago now. And it has been lost by fucking FedEx.
Oh.
This thing is like priceless, man. It's my number 2 guitar, you know? And it's just fucking gone. And they can't give us any fucking anything. Like, they're just like, oh, we have no idea. We tracked it to Rojo, California or something, and you can see, because they have cameras in the trucks of the FedEx trucks, and it made it there, and then all of a sudden it's just fucking gone. So somebody from FedEx fucking stole the thing.
Yeah.
And so we're in this like huge process of trying to, you know, do whatever we can to get it back, and it's just fucking gone, man. Like, and it's heartbreaking, you know? This has been going on for like a year and a half now, you know?
Wow.
Fucking brutal, man. Brutal. All sides were all trying to fight for it, and they can't say anything. We have it tracked leaving from Nashville. You can see it going down the conveyor belt. It's on the truck. It gets to Rojo. It's on that truck, and then all of a sudden it's just gone. You know? So it's got to be an inside job. I mean, it's in a fucking huge flight case. You know, like, it's that they were like, and then the fuckers tried to tell me that the truck got in a wreck and flipped over and shit. So we get the
bullshit.
Yes, we get the fucking all the reports and shit. There was no fucking wreck. There was none of that shit. And I'm like, you would have to fucking dynamite. You would have to dynamite this motherfucker. It was in like a crazy, like a fucking keyboard flight case. You know, like, there's no way. And they're like, yeah, we lost all the product in the truck. And I'm like, man, you're so full of shit. There was no wreck.
There was, even if there was a wreck, this thing would have lasted through that.
Yes. I'm like, you would have to get hit by a Sherman tank, man. You're fucking full of shit, you know? So yeah, that's the one that's gotten away for sure, you know.
Wow.
Because I've kind of kept everything, you know. I've got a storage unit that has everything, and you know, I need to get rid of a lot of this shit because I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do with it. You know, it's, you know, like, I was a little older. I was like 25 when we got the deal. So they gave us, you know, X amount of money. So I fucking knew exactly what to get. So I got all that old shit, you know, and all that old shit.
Exactly what I'm doing with this.
Yeah.
And all that old shit.
After the fucking 8-ball.
After the 8-ball.
After the 8-ball. I'm fucking doing this.
Yes. So I got all this shit, man, like all these old orange cabinets and stuff, you know, and they're just sitting there. I would love for somebody to play them or get them, but, you know, I don't know what to do with them, but they're just sitting there, you know. But I guess they were sitting in someone else's place before I got them, you know.
True.
So if you guys know anybody that wants a bunch of old gear, let me know.
We'll put it out there.
Yeah. Do the reverb
for a nominal fee, that is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look, do the reverb shop, but give us a shot at it first.
Yeah. Oh,
Absolutely.
Ramirez says hello from Perth, Australia. So you got some of the Delacoma people looking out for you too.
Nice. Well, hello, guys.
Worldwide here. Worldwide.
Yeah, good eye.
It's got to be like, I don't know, what, like 3 a.m. there or some shit there, right?
Good God.
Who
Hard
knows?
to say,
or
man. Hard
it's
to say.
tomorrow or some shit. She's working or something.
Yeah, it's probably Monday morning.
Like, those were really tough gigs, man. Because like Dale, I would tell him, I was like, man, you got to give me at least a day or two, because when you show up there, you're in the fucking future.
Yeah,
you know, like literally,
yeah.
like 12 hours or so in the future. And, you know, and I don't fly that great, so, you know, I got to have a few cocktails or 20. You know, so I get there and I'm fucking, I would be blacked out, and then you got to fucking like play the gig. I'm like, dude, you don't understand. I've been like between the airport and the air for like over like 36 hours, you know, because you have to fly from Nashville to LA, and then they make you wait until 11:30 at night.
Right.
Then you fucking fly, and you're in the air for like 16 hours. I mean, it's just fucking brutal, you know?
Right.
And they're like, yeah, let's go play the gig that night. I'm like, dude.
Yeah. Carol wanted to let us know.
It never went well, you know?
It's 8:32 a.m. in Perth, so she wanted to let us know. Okay. So now I was just a little bit off by 3 a.m. So
there you go.
It's because I'm not. Yeah. That time zone thing doesn't work well for me, you know.
I get it, man. I get it.
Math. This isn't math.
Yeah. Like Ed, you know, I'm carrying 6 over, dropping 3. I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah, man, it was rough. It's beautiful over there, man. The crazy thing is, I don't know if you guys have gone, but like Melbourne, like in Australia, these guys, it's like LA Guns and like 1984 or 85 is hitting over there just now. The kids, they all love, like, you know, all the 20 to 30-year-old guys and girls are just like, I mean, it was the craziest thing ever. It's like going back in time. Like, they fucking love, like, 1986 metal, you know?
Really?
It's like the most bizarre thing ever. Like, you could go over there and just, they only want solos and they only want singing. And it's like the coolest thing ever, man. It's like they're stuck in time. It's the coolest shit ever. They don't give a shit about anything in fucking late 90s and 2000s, you know? And there's this band, what do they call it? I forget. I can't think of it now, so that doesn't matter. But, man, just riffs, you know, just, I don't know. I love the Delacoma guys, you know. I still keep in contact with Tommy and Jared. You know, we talk
great band
every month, you know, just such great guys, you know.
You know, it always amazed me whenever you hear, like, how huge also country is there. And I'm going, why would that even be there?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's amazing.
It's insane. Yeah. It's wild just to see, you know, different parts of the world, what they love, you know. It's bizarre, man, because I was not expecting that over there. Like, I mean, just a real heavy love for music. You know, they're all in, you know.
Wow. All right, so how about gear of the week? So we usually talk about something that we're like newly enthralled with, or something that we're fucking really hating this week. Let me ask some of the other guys. Tommy, you got anything new this week?
I got a lava lamp.
You got a lava lamp.
It doesn't really come up very nicely.
Yeah. I'll tell you, Lenny, do you have any new piece of gear that you talked about or heard about?
Yeah, no, not this week. I don't have anything.
A couple of weeks ago, we had Johnny Hyland on, and he had talked about the mag slide. Not that I'm a great slide player, but I was like, fuck it. It was like $32 or something. It wasn't much, and in the band I played slide, and I'm using it on my pinky. And he said they have a good one, and it's got a nice little cutout for the pinky, and you can still play chords and stuff. So I tried it out, and it comes in, and I'm like, this thing fucking plastic. It's magnesium. So it's so light, and it feels like plastic. And he said, you can't play a bad note with it.
We didn't believe him.
Guess what?
You did it.
I can.
You did it, yes!
Yeah. Actually,
give that 20 minutes.
Yeah. It actually played really, really, really well. You know, I would say if you ever have trouble with a slide, I would definitely pick up one of those. And we are not affiliated with them. We don't get any money out of them. Not yet, anyway.
Yeah.
But it was really fantastic. It really was. It was worth it. You know.
Yeah, so that's cool, man. That's cool.
So really, we wanted to ask you, Jason, what do you got? Do you have a new piece of gear you're using? I mean, obviously you're using a Firebird. So.
Yeah, I mean, I would say this, you know, and like I said, it's a funky little fucker. Look at that thing. You know?
Yeah.
I love that headstock on the Firebird like that. Yeah,
Can you imagine?
That thing is fucking cool.
Yeah.
Can you just show that off to the people out in the audience? Because that's a beautiful guitar.
Yeah.
I love Firebirds. I can't. They hate me. I love them.
Oh my god! And this doesn't have the banjo tuners, so you know, like know, the real Firebirds have those banjo tuners.
Yeah.
You'll just fucking break the headstock off like it's no tomorrow. But this, I don't know what this is, man. And you know, I got really lucky on it. I actually just got it from Guitar Center, man. I went in there and was playing, you know, I love to buy kids guitars when I'm in there, man. So I do that quite often. I saw this kid, playing this guitar, with his whammy bar and stuff, and got to talking with him. I was like, man, you really like that, and so I got it for him, and I got myself this, and it's just, maybe it's got some good juju on it because of that, but it's got the P90s in it.
Yeah.
And I haven't done anything to it, man. Like I said, I was gonna put some new pickups in it, but I don't know. It's funky. Like you don't really see Firebirds with this headstock.
No.
No. And it's like, and it stays in tune, somewhat, so it stays in tune good enough for me.
Really, the black pickguard with the gold bird on it is very cool too, man. You don't see that. Yeah.
No.
Right.
Look at that shit, huh?
Yes.
Now,
beautiful, man. And it's loud, It's noisy as fuck. I love it,
I got this one over the summer.
Okay. Oh yeah, look at that.
It's got the P90s.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this is just their tribute, junior or special. The only thing I found with this one is that the fret ends weren't done real well, So you ran your hand up and it was tearing my hands apart. But I spent about an hour filing the frets down, and this thing now plays like butter,
Yeah.
And
that's what I'm saying. That's kind of the Gibson way, right?
Yeah,
they want to fuck with you, I think, sometimes.
Yeah.
So you buy the less expensive
guitar. You're a real asshole to play it anyways,
Yeah.
So.
But this thing was cheap as hell. I think this was $3.99. This is ridiculously cheap,
Yeah.
And I do love it. And like we said off air before, those P90s and these Gibsons are just fucking ridiculous.
Man, I tell you, if you're out there, man, you can just put a P90 with a Les Paul, and it will your mix will be so huge.
Oh yeah.
You get that clarity with the P90.
I have a 72 with the P90s, and the thing that is so cool about it, the guitar at 7 is different than it is at 8. It's different than it is at 9, and it's different than it is at 10.
Yeah.
The P90s are like that. You Paul, you got a little bit, but
you know what you're getting.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But I was pleasantly surprised. A little bit of work on the frets when I first got it. I was like, kind of sharp there, and you spend a little bit of time on it, and totally worth it because it's just made it a completely different guitar.
Yeah, man, they're beautiful, man. I love them a lot,
Yeah, absolutely.
I know my buddy Charlie from Blackberry Smoke. He plays them a lot, man. And man, what a player that guy. I don't know.
What
if you guys,
a player! What a great.
Oh.
You got to turn him on to us. I want one.
We want him on. We want him on.
Yeah, man, he's a fucking hoot, man. Like he's a great talk, man. He had me over to his house in Atlanta when they were off tour about a few years ago.
Yeah.
Oh man, what just a sweet guy, and he's like Eddie, man. He's all in. He writes all the tunes. He plays all the shit. I mean, he carries a big back pocket, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like he's got it, man. But that's all him that you hear, man. Like it's crazy to be able to have that. It's like my friend JJ from Mofro. Like same thing. These guys write all the music.
It's them. Yeah.
Wow.
Man, can you imagine having that much material in your back pocket? It's just crazy.
Oh,
yeah.
It never ends, And these guys do it the old school way, where they'll write a fucking full album in a year, every year. A year and a half. That's what the guys used to do.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
They're not filler songs, man. These are like fucking 11 great records on an album.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a long time ago. There were these 4 guys from England that used to do shit like that. Write 2 or 3 albums in a year.
Yeah, they would do like a couple of albums in a year.
Yeah.
And
I think they might make it.
Yeah, and not crying about it.
I
gotta go back to work.
Yeah. Fuck, those guys are amazing. How the fuck to write that much material, right? Jesus.
Well, that's the thing now. It's like an average record might have 2 or 3 good songs, and the rest is just what I call filler.
I know.
Yep.
But back then, old school, every song was just fucking cool.
That's it, man. You go out, you play it live, then you come back, you might play one of the new ones you're working on, you get back and you go back to work and you just do it all over again.
Yeah.
That's what's cool talking with Charlie. That's what he does, man. They go out and they just do this shit. They come home for a month and he's got another fucking album ready. What the fuck?
Fuck. I know that guy's getting a big
amazing.
fuck you too.
yeah.
Yeah. Fuck you, Charlie Star.
Yeah.
Yeah. God damn.
Wow. Very good. So, you got anything you can tell us you got coming up? On any albums going to get released or anything?
No, I mean, honestly, like I said, we're doing pretty heavy on the Vanilla Women thing right now.
Okay.
We've got about, I think, 6 or 7 songs, so we're trying to get enough records on there to release a whole album. You know, I guess maybe we can get up to about 12 records on there. You know, maybe we can release something full. I don't know how that works, you know, these days, you know, but like I said, we want to probably take everything off YouTube and just maybe try to rebrand it and see, maybe shoot a proper video, you know, because we love that stuff. I mean, there's a couple songs on there that just fucking, I mean, it's so much fun, you know, and we have chemistry that I don't really have with a lot of people, you know. And we just get in the room and like I said, we come in with nothing, and then I'll start with a riff, and then we all write the vocals and the melody lines and the lyrics together, and it's fucking bam, it's done, you know. We track it. Luckily, the bass player Damon, he does a lot of producing, and he's got a great studio and shit. So we're very blessed in that sense, you know, because it sounds fucking killer, you know, like holy shit, it sounds good, you know, like tone wise and stuff. And it's just fucking Les Pauls into a fucking Marshall 800. That's it, you know. No fucking pedals except for the wah pedal. That's it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you're like, holy shit, like
it's like so old school.
Yeah, we haven't jammed in a while, and then we just did another song, Cracked Front Windshield, we called it, on Wednesday, you know, and fucking, like, he pulls up the setting, and it's like, oh, yeah, well, I guess it's the 800. I'm like, I guess it is, you know, it's fucking, and it works, you know, it works. He's like, man, I've been trying to use some other stuff on these other projects. I'm like, not for this, man, you know, I mean, we got what works, you know, and it's, it's crazy how good that sounds, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Just straight in. Nothing else, you know. Run it through an API.
Well, I like the fact that I like the fact that you guys are getting together in the same room when you're creating on the spot.
Yeah.
Instead of like, what do you bring to the table? Well, here I'll email you this.
Yeah, we do it that way on purpose, man. Because you know, reading all those you know, stuff with Sabbath and Zeppelin and stuff, and you just come right in the room, man. And you're like, holy shit, we don't know what we have. But then 5 hours later, you know.
Yep.
It's like, holy shit. But you have to really have chemistry with somebody to be able to do that. You know, you can't do that with everybody, because that will not work.
No, it will not work.
Very true. Very true. Yeah.
Because you're like you got fucking, you know, 25 guys trying to put a Congo solo, you know, and you're like,
I know. Holy good God.
Yeah.
Like, bro, we got it. We don't need the Congos, you know.
Oh, man.
Why are there so many of you?
Do we really need this in octaves now? Come on, man.
Yeah. Wow. All right, let's go around to our most famous segment. We'll start with Tommy on this one. This is the "fuck you" segment, which is actually the biggest compliment you can give to somebody.
All right, you know what?
So we already gave Jasin the "fuck you" as soon as he came on.
Yeah, I know.
So I couldn't help it, because although I guess on the replay nobody's gonna be able to see that, because we're just playing the video, and that's gonna have to be cut out actually. So
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Did they do that last week with Russ Dwarf?
Yes, they did. Yeah, Russ Dwarf. They pulled the whole video on us, and then they said, "Oh, we'll do the editing for you." So they cut all of it, all the killer dwarfs out of there. So
yeah, they're funny.
So if you are not familiar with Jasin, just go check out some of the stuff he did with Shinedown, or you know, that's probably the easiest stuff to find out there. We had actually played the video "Save Me" first, so check that out. It's great stuff. So. Let me go back to the "fuck you" after we already gave this to Jasin. Go ahead, Tommy. What do you got? Do you got somebody?
So you know what's funny was you know, we started the show talking about Edward, and there were the older kids in my neighborhood who had that record before I did. You know, I listened to the Beatles and the radio and everything, and you know, we were at my friend at the time, Kenny Swaney's house, and his brother Chuck Swaney, and he and his buddies, who were just nasty to us, you know, because that's the way older kids are. but they said listen to this, and we're listening to this in their garage, and it was one of those moments where like you guys can't do anything, you know, because we were still trying to learn how to, you know, get through.
Yeah.
Right. Sure. And so, you know, fuck you to those guys in that garage playing that record for me the first time, because that just was just phenomenal. And to follow that, you know, I never really strive to be Edward as much as you know, some of the other people, but I had a friend, you know, our friend Glenn, who sells us gear. That was his guy, and Glenn is probably, who I haven't spoken to, is probably devastated. But man, when I was still, you know, trying to figure out all the, you know, the cool rhythmy, you know, Judas Priest stuff, he was actually really nailing the Van Halen stuff. So, you know, so fuck you, Glenn, if you watch him.
That's good. Lenny,
sell us some shit.
Lenny, who do you got this week?
Well, it's going to be Edward Van Halen. I mean, he always. I mean, I like so many diverse guitar players. I like anybody that's good for so many different things, and there's so much great talent. But for me, growing up through the times when he came out, it just grabbed a hold of you. And following his career, as he constantly progressed and reinvented himself and reinvented different things on the guitar, it was always a marvel to always wonder what he was going to come out with next. Even the things that he came out with that you said, that kind of sucked, never really sucked. After a while, you understand why it is the way it was.
It never sucked.
The guy was ahead of his time, cutting-edge musician and true innovator, and you know, what can I say? He always will be the guy for me in that respect. But well, that's who I have this week. You know, you know, it'd be sad that I won't be able to hear anything new. But I'm sure, being the musician that he was, all the music that I'm sure tidbits here and there he recorded will surface, and that will be kind of cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So,
and we
what he's done for the guitar community, the guitar universe, for all of us. I mean, we're all influenced one way, shape, or another from him. So, you know, that's who I have this week. But
and I know when I heard the news, Lenny, I texted you as soon as I heard, because you were a little closer than most with Edward. So
I had time, so you know, we're kicking the gut.
Yeah,
you know, so it's.
Yeah, it's tough, man.
Still digesting it, but it's, you know, it's getting better.
Right,
you know?
Right.
He left a hell of a legacy.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
absolutely.
Yo.
So, Jason, who do you got? Don't worry about it.
It would be Eddie.
Yeah, I mean, it would have to be, you know. But I'll go back before that. Is just I remember growing up in Lake City, Florida, and you know, we didn't have shit, and going over to Chris Penner's house, and I remember his mom smoked a bunch of weed and shit, and they painted their house black, and we thought that was the coolest thing. And this story is just now coming back to me, you know, and seeing him play the Van Halen stuff and being like, wow, this house of smoke, and you know, he had these dark curtains, and I can see it now again, and this is just now coming to me, man. I haven't even said this name, and you know, I'm an old fucker now, you know, so however many years that is. But yeah, Chris Penner, I think he got me started subliminally wanting to do this, because I mean, they were like, he was like this, he was probably, you know, I was in 8th grade or 7th grade, and he was probably, you know, 11th grade or something. But man, like, thinking of that now, like, that clearly Eddie had an effect on him, and me watching Chris, watching his mom smoke weed and probably worked at a fucking, you know, as a waitress or something, you know, and it was just like all this stuff comes back, man. And so I'd have to give my fuck you to Chris Penner for probably unknowingly starting me on this process, and you know, around 7th grade, like, it just, I remember him just doing this fucking, you know, and you're like, holy shit, what is that, man? Had some, I remember it was like a black fucking Kramer guitar, you know, so. Man, the Ed thing's hitting hard, man. Like, I didn't think it was gonna hit. I mean, it hit me when Tom Petty passed, and you know, John Prine and stuff. But this Ed thing it's you know, like I said, it's not like I could call Ed up or anything, but he did take us out on that tour, and I'll cherish those
and
moments. Yeah, man, 30 days
things that no one else.
Yeah, man. And the crazy thing is, I remember we wanted so bad to play our hometown with Van Halen. So even though we were off the tour, he let us come back about 3 months later, and they kicked off whoever the opening band was there and let us play with them in Jacksonville, Florida.
That's fucking great.
Yeah, man. He did that.
Jason, that is fucking
We asked him, and we're like, man, it'd be really important because, you know, if you're lucky enough to do this and you want to play your hometown arena, you know, like that was my dream of mine, you know, like, come on, man. And like, so when they came through, we got to play that one show with them, you know. So that was really our last show. It wasn't the Staples Center, which was technically supposed to be our last show. So like 3 months after that, he let us play in the Jacksonville Coliseum, you know.
Wow.
So I just, it's tough, man. You know, I know everybody right now is feeling it. You know.
Yeah, right. Like, you know, we all see the stuff going up on Twitter, and like so many people were influenced, and you know.
Oh my God, yeah, it affected everybody, man. It's a once in a lifetime type of cat, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we hear about, you know, I was never alive when Hendrix was around, you know, so you hear all these things about Hendrix, and this was our guy, our generation. You know, he was a musician, he picked up the guitar. Yeah. There was something about Edward that did something for you directly or indirectly, or through somebody else that you were influenced by. So, you know, it's just, you know, for the whole guitar universe, it's a dark day. You know,
absolutely, and it's gonna stick for a while, you know. But you know, like you say, you know, you've got the records, man. It was the same thing when Daryl passed. You know, I had a lot of great times with him too, and you just get to put on those albums, man. I did it today with the Van Halen stuff, man. When I was in the gym today, I just put it in the headphones, and like you were saying, like getting to hear the guitars, and it's like, man,
it's like it's like fuck,
damn.
Yeah, and that's one of those tones, like, you know, if you know, life comes along, you don't listen to something for a while, you know, like really into, like you might hear on the radio, but then you know you put it on your system and you're listening to it, like, you know,
that you're used to.
And you listen to it and you're like, holy fuck, that was so intense.
It's a step above everything else.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
for sure.
Eddie, fuck you, man. That was ridiculous, man. You know.
Rest in peace, brother.
Rest in peace.
In the most glorious way.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Definitely.
All right. So I guess we'll sign off. Jason, wow,
this has been a pleasure, man.
Really, a lot of fun, man. A lot of fun.
Jason, thank you so much, brother.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man. This is great.
We'll make sure we put like all your links and stuff on the.
Yeah, I'll get the links and put them up in the description
YouTube
afterwards.
Thing.
People subscribe.
Yeah.
Subscribe to the show.
Buy stuff. We have merch. We'll put links up for Jason's merch. Buy him. Just send him money.
Send him money.
He doesn't do the electronic thing, so we'll put a stamp on an envelope, throw cash in it.
That's it, man.
And just send it to him.
We'll find it some way.
Keep him playing some great music.
You know what? He'll send you a postcard from Puerto Rico.
Absolutely.
All right.
That's never going to be a reference anybody's going to remember ever. No.
Yeah. But Jason, stick around, and we're gonna sign off now.
Bye,
everybody.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in.
Thank you. Thank you, Jason.